Now, when I was a kid, there was this game I used to play on the Nintendo Wii called Epic Mickey. And I'm not gonna lie, it used to absolutely terrify me. Not too long ago, I found out that this game had been remastered for modern consoles, and I had not even heard about it. So I thought, what better way to revisit a nostalgic childhood game than to try and earn every single Xbox achievement possible? I'm sure this won't go wrong. Let's begin. Now, the plot to this game is incredibly simple, so much in fact that even my 3-year-old toddler brain could comprehend it. Basically, Mickey has like this mirror in his room that's like a portal or something. I don't know, they don't really explain it. And he goes through it and he finds this wizard dude who has this magic paintbrush that can create and destroy stuff. And because Mickey is absolutely brain dead, he just starts destroying everything. He just messes everything up. He creates this giant, big, black, scary monster who then drags him into the abyss. Man, I sure do love giant, big, black, gaping holes. Once we are in control of Mickey, we meet this dude named Gus, who will be our guide throughout the game, and he gives us a quick rundown on the tutorial level, showing us how to use paint and thinner to destroy and repair stuff. And once I'm done with the tutorial level and get onto my first side-scrolling level, I get my first achievement of many. And once I got to the second level, there was a few very easy achievements that I decided to get out of the way first. One of them was for painting 5 enemies simultaneously, another one was for breaking 100 breakable objects, and the last one was for spin attacking 3 enemies at once. And at the end of the second level, I got another achievement for getting 1,000 tickets, as I moved on to the first boss. Now, in order to gain every achievement in this game, it requires at least 2 playthroughs, because one achievement requires you to paint every boss, and other achievement requires you to thin every boss. I'm feeling like a goody two-shoes today, so when I came across my first boss, I decided to use paint. And after we're done our first boss, we get placed into this area called Mean Street, where we have a bunch of characters wanting us to do their dirty work. I mean, wanting us to do quests for them. And in order to progress, I have to repair the Mickey Junk Mountain projector by going back and forth and doing a bunch of random stuff, earning me another achievement. As I made my way up Mickey Junk Mountain, I decided to clear out a few more miscellaneous achievements. One of them was for dialing my abusive ex's number 3 times, only to receive no answer. And another one for making 50 enemies my little slaves.
What?
And then I find this Oswald the rabbit dude who's like pissed at us for like existing and shit. And he takes us back to Mean Street and he wants me to repair the Tomorrow City projector. So I have to go run around and do a bunch of miscellaneous quests yet again. Once I make my way towards Tomorrow City, I'm given another lesson by Gus on how to use another item. This time it's a TV sketch and I earn an achievement for it. So we take those. I was then reminded just how stupid I was when I spent several minutes trying to figure out this puzzle. Only to realize that I was going the wrong way the entire time. Yes, this is a game meant for literal children, and I am struggling to beat it. But never mind that, as we have moved on to the second boss of this game, a giant Pete animatronic, who loves to throw his green sticky goo at me. All I gotta do is dodge his goo a few times, and because I'm going for the good ending for my first run, of course I gotta give him some nice painty blue back shots. So after defeating a boss and getting another achievement, we get sent back to Mean Street where we meet up with Oswald again, and I'll give you 3 guesses as to what you think he wants me to do. Yep, you'd be right, he wants me to repair another projector, so more side quests and more running around. But before I went through our newly repaired projector, I decided to get a simple achievement out of the way by taking a picture of me and Oswald being cute together. How adorable. Hopping through the projector, we end up in Ventureland where we meet up with Shmee, who tells us about how he is stranded because his boat got confiscated by a crew of robot pirates ran by Captain Hook. So now we gotta go through the Pirate Bay to Skull Island and go mess up Hook's shit. Not too long later, we get yet again another sketch, this time being the time sketch, giving us another achievement and the ability to slow down time. Goodness Lord, do not let me have this in real life. The things I will do. Obvious jokes aside, We get another achievement shortly here after defeating every type of beetleworks, as they so call, basically these robot enemies, in the game. Once we arrive on Skull Island, there's a couple anchors around this place that we have to thin out in order to free Shmi's boat that we can then set sail to go get Captain Hook. I board his ship not too long after and engage in another boss fight. However, this time it wasn't really too clear on what the good ending was for this boss fight, and I actually looked up a guide because I was super paranoid of just going in blind, getting the wrong ending, and having to redo my entire run. Let me tell you, I didn't want to have to go through a third playthrough of this game. Oh, and then Pete Pan showed up, and then him and Hook had like this Goku insane level fight, so that was kind of crazy. Another projector to repair! Except this time I already had enough power sparks to repair it, so I didn't have to do any side quests and running around, so... But before I progressed onwards, I wanted to repair animatronic Goofy, only to realize that I missed all his parts and I can't backtrack through the game to go get them. So the only way to get them is to spend money at the shop. So I went dead broke to repair Goofy, so I hope that dude enjoys and is very grateful for what I did for him. But anyways, as I progressed through the main story, I made my way towards the Haunted Mansion, where I earned the third and final sketch in this game, the Anvil sketch, which allows you to drop anvils. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Also, not too long later, I did get another achievement for murdering 50 enemies in the game, so that's pretty Sigma. Okay, once again, I would like to clarify this is a game meant for children. However, I have no idea how a toddler with 3 brain cells is meant to solve this puzzle, because I was convinced even I couldn't solve this puzzle. It took me 10 minutes of just spamming these gears back and forth to move these picture frames. Oh my god! Now I made sure to search every inch of this library and grab every single Donald animatronic part, so that I didn't make the same mistake again and have to buy them from the shop. Cheesy quick little achievement for grabbing 36 film reels that I got before I moved on to another boss fight, this time against the Mad Doctor. He had this robot army that were going to attack me, but I saved this gremlin earlier. He said he'd return the favor, so he just like destroyed his infinitely spawning shit, so that was kind of crazy. So I only had one last robot spawner to deal with after that gremlin dude helped me out, so I just rerouted the Mad Doctor's roller coaster here in order to get the good ending and another achievement. Making my way back from the Haunted Mansion, I gave animatronic Donald all his parts for another achievement, and then gave this dude on Mean Street a bunch of film reels, gave me a costume, and that was also another achievement for equipping a costume. Now, it dawned on me that I hadn't collected animatronic Daisy's parts from the Pirate Bay, and I had in fact missed them. So I was going to have to do the same thing I did with Goofy and buy them from the shop. So I had to run around and get a bunch of tickets, breaking a bunch of objects, which took about 15 minutes, but eventually I got it. Gave her all her parts, and got another achievement. Now, Oswald's lair is being attacked by the Shadow Block, who's the main antagonist in this game, and also the dude who dragged us here in the first place. And so basically, we have to go on top of Mickey Junk Mountain and engage in a boss fight against him. Spoilers, this is not the end of the game. I almost thought it was, but the game kind of tricked me here. And honestly, dare I say this boss fight was somewhat difficult. Nothing Dark Souls level difficult, of course, but I could definitely see 6 or 7-year-old me raging at this game, playing this boss fight. Anyways, after another achievement is earned for completing the boss fight, we get informed that in fact that was entirely a fake, and the real Shadow Blot is inside this bottle. That Oswald just breaks open because he's a dumbass, so now all of Wasteland is under attack. Great job, Oswald. This then leads us to our next quest, where we have to go to every town throughout the game, which there are many, and clear out every single enemy and these giant tentacles that have overrun every place. Honestly looked like something that's straight out of the hentai I watch and not in a children's game, but I digress. This is also where I decided to get one of the most tedious achievements in this game, and that is to repaint every single object in Mean Street, which sounds a lot easier than it actually is. At this point, I've made it to the final stretch of the game, and I have to arm multiple towers with fireworks by doing a couple puzzles, all the while this castle I'm in constantly collapses beneath my feet. And the Shadow Blot also keeps trying to fist me over and over again. However, before I'm able to set off the fireworks and kill the Blot for good, he sucks me inside of him.
What do you mean by that?
Which means that the only way I can get out is by giving him stomach troubles and popping a bunch of these nasty green zits that he has everywhere. While I was here, I also got a cheeky achievement for knocking 50 enemies into puddles of thinner. Popping the final green bubble, I kill the Blot and earn 2 achievements, one for completing the main story and the other for getting the good ending. But wait, we're not quite done. Remember earlier how I said I would have to do at least 2 playthroughs of this game to get every achievement? Well yeah, so now I have to go back and play through the entire game, but this time use thinner on every boss. And collect a few achievements along the way, the first of which came at the very start of the game, where I had to repair 3 rides in the Gremlin Village. I don't know how I missed this one on my first playthrough. This is a very easy achievement, but whatever. Next achievement I didn't get until a long while later, towards the end of the game, where I have to complete 4 races given to me by this NPC. And not too long later I got another one for distracting 5 blotlings with a TV sketch. However, it was at this point that I realized I would have to play through the game a 3rd time because of one single achievement that I didn't get on my first playthrough because I thought I could get it my 2nd time around. Turns out I can't get it on the bad ending, so I have to play through the game a 3rd time. That was a little bit annoying. But I continued through my 2nd playthrough as per usual and got to the end of the game, giving me another achievement for getting the bad ending. And on my 3rd playthrough, I speedran through this game. Like, I got to the end within like 2.5 hours. I got my last health upgrade, got my achievement, and my final achievement for obtaining every other achievement of the game. So there we go, there's 39 out of 39 achievements in Epic Mickey Rebrushed.